It's the PM show, nationwide, coast to coast on CRN Digital Talk Radio. The weekend edition. Here's the star of our show, the one and only Fred Dreyer.
You know, we're talking about the Super Bowl and the phenomena that game conjures up.
Most watched TV show ever in the history of television. A record 164.1 million total viewers. And this is incredible, and it drew an average of 108.41 million viewers, putting it number 3 on the list. The Packers and Pittsburgh game. This one went way beyond that.
Yeah, and I think that you know, when you take a look at these games, you know, the key element, the differentiation. The reason I picked San Francisco was the mobility and the threat of Kaepernick, the 49er quarterback.
I agree with you.
I thought basically the Lions were going to balance themselves out. I thought 49ers would be able to control the defensive front a little bit better and run the ball a little bit better. They went away from that the philosophy of attacking because they got behind so quickly. And they were behind 18
And their run game wasn't working.
So.
Their run game worked, and it wasn't working, and they kind of stayed with that run game in the first half.
Well, the point is that if you looked, the Ravens were playing a lot of their defenses up close to the line of scrimmage.
Right.
And so in order to spread them out and force them deeper into the center of the field, you have to have the threat of hitting the edge or the corners with either a running game or the quarterback. And I thought that they should have sprinted the quarterback out, not so much with the intent to run. He's going to run if he doesn't see anything, certainly.
Right.
But what you do is you put pressure on the middle part of the field, making them to decide very quickly.
Where am I going to go?
Am I going to stay back and cover, or am I going to come up and force this kid? And you saw earlier that they had this Reed, who's a terrific safety for the Ravens. As soon as he saw Kaepernick, he was making he was almost spying him, eyeballing him. As soon as Kaepernick started to get happy feet and start to wander out of the pocket and actually make a move to the outside, he came forcing up hard. Now, there's a thing called a side adjustment that I've always seen that is part of the weakness of any given team. And that is that once you call the play in the huddle, and bear with me if I'm being long-winded, but you got to.
No, this is good.
You have to understand this. Is that when you break the huddle and go out to your respective positions as a receiver, you have to be able not only just to see where you're going to go, but you're reading the coverage as you come off the line of scrimmage. And if you see behavior out there that tells you they're sending somebody, you have to know that your quarterback could be in jeopardy real quick. So therefore, instead of running the 18-yard out that takes a little bit of time, you may have to look sooner and break it off sooner so he can dump you the ball.
Right.
You follow?
I got you.
That's
it's a side adjustment. Once they line up at the line of scrimmage, you're keeping your eye there. You're just looking for any kind of a clue so you can know, hey, I may have to turn around faster and get this ball quicker.
That's right. That's why defensively that the dictation is that mask everything till the last minute because the receivers are smart receivers. And this is all through film study and stuff and breaking everything down. And so what they didn't show you, and I always have fun with this, and you know, Sims and the other guy, the color commentator,
Jim
Nance,
yeah,
are affable fellows, and they do what they can do, and that's what that is. You get what you get. But there's a beginning, middle, and an end to all of these games in terms of storyline. And in order to really tell people what's going on, you've got to tell people what's at stake, what's at risk, and therefore you have to tell them the storyline. Here's why I think the Ravens could win this game, and show them in replay. Here's why I think San Francisco could win the game, and show them through replay. And then people get the feeling that they're watching a story unfold instead of just tuning in to seeing one play after another that's not tied together. You know?
help them. You kind of tie it all together. Howard Cosell was the first guy to really do that so well when he would do the storyline of the game. And you said on this broadcast you thought the Super Bowl would be won on the line of scrimmage, and that's what you're talking about, making the side adjustment, how they line up. This is where, you know, Baltimore coming in quicker and putting more guys up front. There you go.
And getting behind like they did at halftime by 21-6, getting behind like they did forced them to come in and go through a series of halftime adjustments that perhaps they normally wouldn't do at that point in time of the game. But what happened is they come out, the kid returns the kickoff. It's now 28-6, right? They're 22 points behind, and now San Francisco gets the blessing of the Transformers going out. There's 34 minutes worth of wasted time, and they gave people a chance to settle in. And I don't take those things lightly. It's just something that happens where a team realizes, I've got an extra half hour now to kind of organize, settle down, and start to decompress a little bit that you're behind by 22 and get into your offense. They got together, they got organized. The coach, said, look, relax. We got a whole time here to do it. And one thing I liked about the Harbaugh brothers, but certainly in Jim, because he was the one behind, is that they have a lot of confidence in the people that they put confidence into. And that's the quarterbacks.
Right.
But I thought the quarterback, the play of Kaepernick, was slow to get started. There was sets of circumstances that allowed that to happen. It was clear and obvious what those reasons were. But when they came back and scored 18, 17 points, there was a point there where they when they kicked the field goal, Frisco kicked the field goal. They instead of going for the 21. There was I saw there was a slag, there was a lull in the body language of San Francisco. To kick that field goal and not get 7 points was critical to, I think, turning the game around, and that's where I think the game was lost.
Right there at that kick, and they went for the 2-point conversion.
No. It was there was a series of plays that led up to going for the 20th and 21st point that turned into the 16th, turned into the field goal.
It's like they didn't think that series of they didn't think when they got close. They kind of rushed them.
Well, there's a lot of things going on that well, there's a lot of things to consider, and people make the wrong decisions. I thought all along, coming in from the second half, that you must now put pressure on the different part of the field in the second half. You're behind 22 points. And then the kid kicks off, brings back the kickoff, and now you're really getting buried. You have nothing to lose. Spread them out. Force people. Remember the tight ends, how important they are. They played a big important role in this game for both teams. Run that tight end right down the middle of the field and scramble the quarterback and put pressure on the middle part of the field. Get Ray Lewis to either come up or to stay back deep. And there's lots of things when you do the autopsy of these things to take a look at, but. I would have predicted that San Francisco would have jumped out and they would have won by 3. It's funny how Vegas is always correct, isn't it?
It is amazing. Why is that?
They know. They do a great job of handicapping. Anyway, when we come back, I want to get into something here. It's women in the military, women on the front lines of combat. This thing is driving me crazy. So stay right there, folks, and we'll get into it.
Weekend edition of the PM Show with the one and only Fred Dreyer on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Email Fred incoming at crni.net.